Long ago, in the heart of Africa, there was a land called Viti. It was a land blessed with rich soil, tall trees, and rivers that shone like silver. The people of Viti were known everywhere as great farmers, brave hunters, and gentle-hearted people. They loved one another, they feared God, and they lived in peace. In those days, God lived very close to the earth. The clouds hung so low that you could almost touch them. Some said, when you stretched your hand into the rain, you could feel God's warmth. The elders told stories of how they could speak to God during storms. If thunder cried too loudly, they would step outside and say, "Please, Father, let the rain rest." And at once, the sky would grow calm. The people of Viti felt safe, knowing God was near. Among the people lived a woman named Chacha and her husband Dokata. They had children and worked hard every day. Dokata was a hunter, and Chacha was known for making the softest pounded yam in the village. Their family laughter often filled the air. But one day, everything changed. It was evening. Chacha had peeled the yams and set her mortar outside their hut. She waited for Dokata to return from the forest with meat, as he always did. The children sat nearby, hungry and excited. But Dokata returned empty-handed. Chacha's heart burned with worry. The children were hungry. She had no meat for the soup. She began pounding the yam, with heavy hands and a troubled mind. Tears filled her eyes, not from anger alone, but from disappointment and fear. Up above, God was watching gently from the low clouds, smiling over the earth he loved. Chacha lifted the long wooden pestle, but her emotions were strong. She struck it down with great force in her distress, and by accident, the pestle rose too high. It hit God by his side. There was no thunder, there was no lightning, only silence. God touched his side and looked down at the earth with sadness. He did not cry out or show wrath, but a deep sorrow filled his heart. He whispered, "They no longer see me with love, even in their pain." And slowly, gently, God began to rise, higher than the clouds, higher than the skies, until he disappeared from the sight of humans forever. That evening, the wind stood still. The trees stopped moving. The people felt something leave them. From that day on, no one could speak to God face to face. The clouds lifted, the sky stretched far, and prayers no longer received immediate replies. The elders wept and said, "Once God lived with us, but a wounded heart sent him away." What is the moral of the story?